Good afternoon and welcome to St Martin in the Fields and welcome to this week's Great Sacred Music. There are a wide variety of themes associated with birds in the Bible, from Goliath threatening David with his flesh being eaten by the birds of the air, to many analogies to capture, such as the snare of the fowler in Psalm 91. Wings may be the symbol of escape and safety, thus, "O for the wings of a dove" in Psalm 55, which we'll be hearing a little bit later on. Likewise, Jesus refers to giving shelter under the shadow of his wing, like a mother hen. There are a number of examples. A dove is a symbol for love many times in the Song of Songs, and a sparrow finds itself a nest in God's house in Psalm 84. There are also references to beauty in the Bible. For example, would you believe Solomon collected peacocks? So it's our tradition to begin Great Sacred Music by singing a hymn together, and hopefully you all picked up a sheet on your way in. There are some on the table just there at the back. Morning is Broken was written in 1931. The words were authored by English writer Eleanor Farjeon, who also wrote the hymns People Look East, as well as many children's stories. She was inspired by the village of Alfriston in East Sussex. She set the hymn to a traditional Scottish Gaelic tune known as Bunnason. The English pop musician and folk singer Cat Stevens included a version of this on his 1971 album, Teaser and the Firecat. Well, we won't be singing Cat Stevens' version today, but we'll be singing the traditional version of Morning Has Broken. So we'll remain seated as the voices stand and lead us. Morning Glory Starlit Sky was originally a poem that forms the epilogue to the theologian W.H. Vanstone's 1977 book called Love's Endeavour, Love's Expense. The book describes his ministry on a housing estate just outside the centre of Manchester and his search there for the relevance of Christianity. He reflects on work in this place and of his growing conviction, as he puts it, that the love of God must be infinitely more costly, more precarious, and more exposed than it's commonly thought to be. He founds a theology of God's vulnerability through which creation, as much as Christ's cross, is a poignant handing over of a priceless gift, a pattern that his ministry reenacts in its daily faithfulness and daily work. After that, Grayston Ives, who is a former member of the King's Singers, who sang with tenor with the King's Singers from 1978 until 1985, and was then organist and fellow and tutor in music at Magdalen College, Oxford. His choral output ranges from canticles, anthems and motets to arrangements of spirituals, folk songs, and other popular works. His Listen, Sweet Dove is a setting of line from George Herbert's poem, The Temple, and the piece dates from 1973. So Barry Rose's arrangement of Morning Glory, Starlit Sky, followed by Listen Sweet Dove by Grayston Ives. Ernest Luff joined the choir of the Temple Church in London in 1924, under the direction of George Thalburn Ball. As a chorister at the Temple Church, Luff had a choral scholarship to the nearby City of London School. On the 5th of April 1927, the Gramophone Company brought its new mobile recording unit to the Temple Church, where the choir recorded Felix Mendelssohn's Hear My Prayer. Luff, then aged 15, sang the famous solo, "Oh for the Wings of a Dove," and had to stand on 2 large books in order to get close enough to the microphone. HMV issued the record, which was code number C1329, in June 1927. It was an instant hit, became their biggest seller that year. 6 presses worked daily and night at HMV's factory to keep up with demand, and this recording made Mendelssohn's anthem, the Temple Choir, and Ernest Luff world famous. Crowds of people packed the congregation to hear Luff singing at Sunday services. The original master recording wore out, and a second version had to be recorded to replace it in 1928. One of the very few recordings which has never been deleted from the catalogue and is still available on CD, now having sold over 6 million copies. The Record Guide in 1951 described it as one of the outstanding bestsellers in gramophone history. Well, today, this piece isn't being sung by Ernest Luff, but our very own Daisy Walford.
Thyself from my beauty
So it's almost time to sing our second hymn together. O Lord my God was set to a Swedish traditional melody and based on a poem written by Carl Boberg in 1885. Boberg and some friends were returning home to Münsteras from Kronoback in Sweden, where they had joined an afternoon service. A thundercloud appeared on the horizon and lightning flashed across the sky. Strong winds swept over the meadows and billowing field of grain. The thunder pealed in loud claps. Then rain came in cool, fresh showers. In a short while, the storm was over and a rainbow appeared. When Boberg appeared home, he beheld through the window in the hay of Münsteras like a mirror before him. From the woods on the other side of the bay, he heard the song of a thrush. The church bells were tolling in the quiet evening. This series of sights, sounds, and experiences inspired the writing of the song. So we'll remain seated as the voices stand and lead, O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder, and we'll sing verses 1, 2, and 4. Well, thank you very much for joining us at Great Sacred Music today. On your way out, there's an opportunity to donate to a retiring collection, which helps us as we grow and build the music programme here at St Martin's. And if you haven't got cash, there's other ways to give. There's a card machine at the back, and on the back of your sheet, you'll find things like website links and QR codes. There is no escape. You'll find details of future Great Sacred Musics on the front of your sheet every Thursday at 1 o'clock, and also our Choral Classics programme every Sunday at 3:15 here in church. Please do join us. Sarah Quartel is a Canadian composer and educator inspired by the life-changing relationships that can occur while making choral music. She lives in London, Ontario. Our final piece, The Bird's Lullaby, is an a cappella setting of words by E. Pauline Johnson. Emily Pauline Johnson was a Canadian poet, author, and performer. She was well known in the late 19th century and early 20th centuries. Her father was a hereditary Mohawk chief. Her mother was an English immigrant. Her family originated from New York State, and she was a key figure in defining Canadian literature and in modelling Indigenous women's writing. So, The Bird's Lullaby by Sarah Quartel.